Hello everyone, welcome to John of All Trades, where on this channel I do a little of everything. Anything from electronics, as you'll see today, to working on cars. We're in the car shop today, didn't really have a choice. Wife's at home working and she's got my office. But she's a lovely wife, and I love her very much. So today, we're going to do the much waited for CM2 Mongoost CM2 throttle. So stay tuned and we'll get started. All right, now I got you guys in nice and close. Let's take a look at this throttle. Mongoost CM2, this is version 4. So we're going to go over my likes, my dislikes, and just overall how I feel about it. It's a little dusty. So keep in mind I do come from the Thrustmaster 1600, I believe that's what it's called. So it's this guy that you guys see on the screen right now. That was a great entry level, get me going in DCS. Everything I do is DCS. I've never played Star Citizen. I've never played Elite Dangerous. So for you guys, sorry, I can't really tell you how this performs on those platforms. But first of all, we'll get right into the hookups here. So you can see here, you got your USB and auxiliary. I really like how they did the auxiliary hookup. Now this does not work with the Warbird base, but I believe, don't quote me on it, but I believe it works with the new CM2 base. So it makes it nice. You can tie everything in together, have just one out going to your computer instead of 3 like I do. So all in all, it feels really good. I've been playing on it for a couple months now. It comes with these stands here, and these go on the side like this. Sorry, I had this mounted to my flight stand. So they go on the side like that. I did find on the desk, they slide around rather easily. I mean, that's hardly any force at all. It slides. I stuck a mouse pad under it, and it did help in holding it down. I recommend getting their desk mount if you guys can. I'll leave a description to that. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And the desk mount makes it nice. I have this mounted to my next level racing flight sim rig / driving rig, kind of everything I do. So it's going over it. Throttles feel great. I've had a couple people ask me about the lack of detents. This thing's going to slide around a lot because it's just sitting on a wood base. There we go. The lack of detents. For me, I've figured out how you can do access to buttons on this. So I did figure out how to get, your start by moving forward a little bit. It does have a virtual afterburner mode. If you guys would like to see how to do that, leave a comment below. I have no problem doing a video on how to set that up. And when you go into afterburner mode, you can actually change your LED lights, so you'll know when you're in afterburner. So how mine is set up, whenever I fly with the F-18, I use my T2 switch here, and that, when this is off, I'll have no afterburners. So I do full throttle, no afterburners. You can set it to a certain percentage to where your throttle locks out at. So real quick, so if I have this switch down and I do full throttle, it shows 85%, 89% on as far as the throttle's going. I can flip the switch up, and now it gives the throttle full range, so I can go all the way to 100, which gives me my afterburners, and then the LED lights change. Leave a comment below if you want to see how to do that. I have no problem doing a video on that. Right out of the box, I've had to make some changes. First, all the switches have worked great. I've had my 2-year-old in there. She's probably done the million flip test on all the switches because she's pushing buttons and flipping all the time. She loves it as much as I do. But anyway, I've had to do a couple things. So like your APU, this is bound so when you flip your switch up, it just does a button on and off, and you flip it down, on and off. So it's not actually two separate buttons. There is a way to switch it within the Virpil software. Same thing. Leave a comment below if you want to see how to do that, and I can do a video on that, no problem. Your mode selector out of the box. I have mine set up to where my mode selector is active. I'm not using VJ or any other software. The software, I can say, is one of the definite cons on this particular any Virpil product. It's works very well, but it doesn't work as well as your Thrustmaster target system, I believe is what it's called. I really like that because then you can set your controls up. You can bind these buttons to key bindings and that on your keyboard. You can't do that with the Virpil software at this time. Virpil, if you're watching, you need to work on that. That would be awesome. So I have mine set up here where all my ground stuff is on one. So if I'm doing anything on the ground crew, turn on the power. I've got my rearm, reload, and then when you flip this, so your mode selector just changes your B1 through B6 buttons. It's a modifier, so it modifies your buttons. So when I'm on 5, then my B1 through B6 is for my wingman, so just quick communications on there. It's worked really well. So I could definitely say the pros, we'll go through the pros real quick. Everything's just really smooth here. All the axes are smooth. Everything has worked very well. Once again, I've had my 2-year-old all but hanging off of some of these switches because she's mad at Dad. And as you can see, I mean, nothing's broke. Everything's working very well. So definitely a solid unit. I like how they integrated this. This is definitely a pro here. They do sell a kit for these where instead of using these legs here, you can mount it to your flight sim rig that you have. I highly recommend mounting it if you can. If you do want to put it on the desktop, just throw a mouse pad in between the legs here and the desk and you should be fine. So all the encoders and everything worked really good. I'm going to bring it up to the mic here so you can hear the switches. You can tell all the switches, they got a real good tactile feel to them. So I'm pretty happy there. I have average size hands. Should have trimmed my fingernails there. I'm able to reach everything, no problem. I've found that there's definitely not a lack of buttons for what I use on DCS. Some of the cons I found is, once again, these slide around. Get rid of them or throw a mouse pad under them. The wheel on the outside here is, it's for me, it's really awkward. I don't use it for anything. I wish they had the option to switch this out with a 3-way switch. It would be a lot better for me and my use. Everything else I can say is actually worked pretty well. The one thing to note, so version 1 and 2, I believe when you had your throttle split, so you can see your, I'll go ahead and just do this here. So you can see your throttle split. So version 1 and 2, this went in and pushed on a switch inside. And that told the software that these are locked together. So even though they're off a little, so if you push on one or the other, you have a little bit, you know, probably 1 to 2% off. It still registers, it ties them together and registers them as one. Now, version 3, they did a system where as long as these two throttles are within 5% of each other when this is locked, then it would activate and keep it together. But you had to get out of sync 5% before it would work. A lot of people didn't like that. So this one here, let's see if I don't even know if that camera is going to focus on that. This one here has a little metal catch on the end, and I believe it's magnetized on the inside. I don't know if you guys can see in there or not. I don't really. Once again, I'm not in my regular office, so I don't have any way to see what you're seeing right now. But anyway, in here it's got a little sensor, so when you lock it in, it registers that both of the throttles are locked together and they're going to work flawlessly together. Haven't had any problems with that. So all in all, this thing's been great. Once again, I do come from Thrustmaster T1600, so it's a little different. I can show you guys real quick the USB cord. So here's a USB cord that comes with it. It's real nice. You just kind of line it up and it just clicks in. It's in there nice and solid. That is not coming out. To remove it, you just pull back on the sleeve here and it pops out. I really like that design. I haven't had any problems with it coming loose or bad signals or anything, and I've had dogs and kids trip over that too. So if there's anything else you guys would like to see on this, just let me know. And thanks for sticking around. And sorry that we're, once again, if it's echoey or anything, I have no way to hear it right now. Alright guys, so there you have it. That is the Mongoost-50cm2. There we go. It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, be safe. And just real quick, my hat's off to everybody out there working right now. Yeah, you like the hair. Barbers are not working right now. All you essential workers, delivery drivers, truck drivers, nurses, especially the nurses and people in the hospitals. Thank you for what you've done. It's been crazy. Life's been crazy. We couldn't have got through this without any of you guys. Everybody rushing to get your toilet paper off the shelves. Truck drivers bought you more, so thank them too. They're out there every day away from them families during all this hectic time. So thanks for tuning in. Once again, John of all trades. We do a little of everything here. You've mainly seen electric stuff from me, or electronic stuff, the throttle, some gaming videos. We're going to get started on these projects right behind me very soon. That'll be some more stuff you guys can enjoy. So have a good day, and thanks for stopping by.